Well, our Toastmaster for today is also known as the literary lady. Let's welcome Yolanda M. Johnson-Bryant.
I'm glad to see everyone this morning. I'm excited. I'm not only excited for the meeting, I'm excited because tomorrow is Superbowl Sunday, and if anyone knows me, I am a football fan, specifically a Dallas Cowboy fan, and only Sharon and I got the memo. Woo! Go Cowboys!
Yeah. Cowboys!
So today's theme is going to be all about football. I asked you guys to wear your football paraphernalia. I'm sorry, Steelers fan, poor thing.
Hey, we won 6 Super Bowls, thank you.
The only thing great about the Steelers is the coach, but anyway. I wanted to give a few football facts since we are talking about Super Bowl Sunday. Who's having a Super Bowl party tomorrow?
Woohoo!
We invited. Oh, man, thank you.
You know the year the very first Super Bowl was played.
Was it 1967?
Woo! Gerard! And I had prizes, but I forgot to bring them, so I'll bring them next meeting. So Gerard gets a prize.
All right.
You know who was in the Super Bowl in 1967?
Kansas City.
Green Day.
Yep.
You
Kansas
gotta
City.
get both names.
Oh.
Come on, work together, people.
We'll team up. Green Bay and Kansas City. How's that?
Okay, Sharon and Gerard.
Sharon, I didn't know
Okay.
that.
I don't agree with you.
Okay, who won?
Green Bay.
I thought it was Kansas City.
It was Kansas City. What was the score?
Oh.
22
to 31.
27 to 12.
No, somebody had to win the game.
Oh.
35 to 10. So
Good morning, distinguished guests and fellow Toastmasters. Today is February 1st, and how many of you know that this is a very special day, National Something Day? Anybody know?
Ice cream.
Ice cream and
For
reset,
breakfast.
and reset your password.
Those are really,
Password.
Yeah.
those are really cute holidays, y'all. Today is National Freedom Day.
Oh.
And it was established in 1948 to remind us what it's like that America is a symbol for freedom, that slavery was abolished, and the bill was actually signed on February 1st by Lincoln. And the origin of the day, I'll just tell you, is Major Richard Robert Wright, a former slave, created it. He believed there should be a day when freedom for all Americans is celebrated. So when President Lincoln signed the 13th Amendment on February 1st, that was chosen. And in 1948, Harry Truman signed a bill proclaiming February 1st as National Freedom Day. So today, reflect on your own freedoms that you enjoy and be very grateful because a lot of people don't enjoy the freedom we have. Thank you.
thank you. How many of you are true North Carolinians? Okay, I'm from Denver. February 1 right down the street. That's what it's named after.
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought Elmer was associated.
Yeah, there's a street right down here downtown called February 1, which
Right
I think
next to
runs along
Yeah.
the Civil Rights Museum.
Right.
And they're having a celebration today for it too.
It's because of Freedom Day.
We're not from North
Between
Carolina.
Davy and
Right.
Toastmasters and guests.
graphics, involvement, clean charts.
Must tell you.
We now know that you know what you're talking about.
What
when it comes
not to
diversity
eat.
in the workplace. Madam
I
Toastmaster.
did of course tell you to bring your favorite kid cereal. I'll get to that in just a moment. But I was born in the South. South Dakota. But my parents are true Southerners. And we ate like Southerners wherever we went. And when we got married, we decided we were going to eat differently, which we did for a little while. And then we got back to our Southern roots. And y'all probably remember me at this 270 pounds. So So I decided that I was going to work out and stop eating some of those things that I shouldn't eat. One of those things is my favorite childhood cereal, Captain Crunch. I still have some in here. I eat it from time to time. And I caught the flu. And when I caught the flu, I went to the doctor and they put me on Tamiflu. Tamiflu changed my life. It broke my stomach. And it made me so sick that in that year, I lost a lot of weight.
Wow.
Got down to 190-ish. People were like, what in the world's going on with you? I still have my spaghetti. I can still have my macaroni and cheese, just gluten-free. I started to substitute. Still had the fat, still had the calories. Started to pick up the weight again. I started to think, you know what? I don't want to go back in that direction. Where I had to deal with the blood pressure medication and all those side effects. And then the concerns about blood sugar and all of that. I've started to think a little differently. And for Christmas, I got this, the Fitbit. This really excites me. Because now I can take charge of my weight loss. I can exercise and measure it. I can put in calories and monitor it. You can do a lot of things with this one device. And I've been able to monitor my progress. I'm starting to drop down a little bit. Because I'm not eating those things that I should not eat. I'm exercising more. I'm feeling better. That inflammation has come down. And I suspect that when I get down closer to 200 or just under 200, I won't look all emaciated like that. I will have the picture and the image of super fitness. So I encourage you to examine your diets, carve out those things that you should not eat, and make this year a healthy year. Madam Toastmaster.
How do you feel about diversity? Do you embrace it?
Yes.
Or do you question its relevance? Diversity is everywhere. The world is changing as we speak. In this speech, I will talk about what diversity is, and how we can improve diversity and the benefits of diversity. Diversity is real or perceived differences among people, and these differences affect relationships and interactions between people. As you know, when you go to work, you're going to be surrounded by people who don't think like you, they don't act like you, they don't behave like you. And in those settings, you have to know how to manage yourself accordingly, and that's what we call self-management. It must be buy-in from the top level. Because if your managers aren't serious about it, then any diversity initiative that you put in place is not going to be successful. So in conclusion, diversity is needed. I've defined diversity for you. I've explained its importance. And I've also suggested ways to increase diversity in the workplace. And diversity is important. It benefits everyone. And I strongly encourage you to go and do some more research on diversity. And here are the references that I used. Madam Toastmaster.
Don't let the look fool you, I am not a football fan. My husband is though, and I appreciate his love of football. On Sunday, from September until February, I don't have the TV at all on Sunday. But I will listen to it, and even if he's not there, I won't even turn it on. He'll call me and say, what's the score? What score? But that's the beauty of a relationship. You learn to love each other's interests. And in conversation sometimes, haven't you ever felt put on the spot to where someone's talking about something and you have to respond and you don't really know how, so you turn it into something that you're interested in. And that is a tool that you can use as a table topic speaker. FYI. If you're not a sports fan, if you're just talk about it. I have some questions that are football related, but also life related. And I am going to first take volunteers, because I'm really bad with names. I know names on here, but they're the people who have roles. So folks that I'm not sure your name, please come up, or raise your hand, or run up here. Okay.
All right.
Sorry, I don't know.
Gerard.
Gerard, I heard it earlier. You can choose from the.
Oh.
Fortune cookie.
On a football team, what position would you be? Are you a quarterback, a linebacker, a kicker, a coach, and why? I would want to be the kicker. And that's because you get to stand quite a ways back from all those really big guys that I'm running after. The most dangerous thing that you ever have to do as a kicker is if somebody's running the ball back and everybody else misses a tackle, you're the last person between that big person and the goal line, you might have to tackle them. And that is when your life is in most peril. Also, kickers get to kick after points, they get to kick field goals, and quite often you'll see where the kicker is actually the leading scorer on the team, even though, in my opinion, they have one of the safer jobs. And sometimes they're really small people. We used to have a guy named Garo Yepremian that played for Detroit briefly. He was a soccer player. And he got so scared seeing these big guys come after him, he quit football and became a tie maker for a while, tie designer, selling neckties. And then eventually he made a comeback in football. He got over it, decided there was more money in football than ties. I would rather be the kicker. Thank you.
Yeah, I definitely don't understand the Brett Favre thing where he stayed on and stayed on. Hello, football is dangerous. Get your money and get out. All right, question number 2. Who else started? Did you volunteer?
I can start.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you got Lori. Lori, she's already up.
No rush.
This is football injury.
Teach you.
Okay, my husband, this is your husband.
Right, yeah.
Okay, my husband,
My question.
because my husband would say this. My husband had said that football is the metaphor for life. Tell us if you agree or disagree and why. That's a hard question.
Yeah.
I would say, I agree, because being a part of, I would think, being a part of a team, everything, I mean, even within business, there's always a team. So there's always everyone playing their role to accomplish a goal. And that goal might be more profitability or more sales or whatever, and it takes a team. And then also you need a coach. You need someone that's the head person to encourage the team to do the things that they need to do. So yes, I would agree that football is like a metaphor for life. And we should watch football at time to time and see how that is played out, so we can probably take some pointers from some of the football players, but not the ones that are the prima donnas and think that they're the team, but the ones that really operate and really utilize each player to accomplish the goal and to make that touchdown or make that field goal.
Okay. I'll watch football, but then I like football movies because it's always about overcoming an obstacle and teamwork.
Yes.
Anyone else? No, time for Lee?
No, just pointing at Jasmine. She volunteered.
There's no trivia.
Alrighty. Super Bowl Sunday. You're at a party, got your cold drink, your snacks. what you watching, the game or commercials? Fellow Toastmasters guests, and especially Gwen, table topics master. I have to jog my memory back to Super Bowls of the past, and also jog my memory or jog my future into prayerfully tomorrow's football, God willing. So in the past, I'm not much of a football person. I try to be. I have no clue about when the play is or flag and what these signals mean and all the action. I just get excited when the ball goes over the goal with the guy and it's in his hand. That's when I know when to cheer. And so I'm a little bit engaged with the game, but I'm also mostly engaged with the commercials. I'm looking for the silliest, goofiest commercial that they have the air. And so in the past, I can see myself sort of into the game, you know, eating the food and enjoying the parties. But I'm mostly looking at the commercials for the humor, who did it best, did I get it, and was it put together well, did I understand it? But so I can just see myself at my sister's place tomorrow for the party, looking at the commercials. I don't even know who's playing tomorrow. I just think the Seahawks are playing somebody. But other than that, I have no clue. It's the only time I get engaged with football, the whole season. So, all right. Thank you.
One more? Okay. One more.
And your Grace, our guest.
Hi.
Yeah, and you want to do?
Oh, we got one. Okay. Sorry.
Oh,
I was just coming out of here.
and then there's one.
Okay.
Not all nasty on TV.
Oh, upside down. Coaches are leaders. What are the traits of a good coach or leader on a team?
You have your high five.
Madam Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. That is true, actually. Coaches are leaders. Especially the coach I remember is W.H. Wooden. Do you remember him? Wooden.
UCLA?
Yes. 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 If you Google him, he is
Oh, yeah.
one of the best there is.
He's the bomb.
Actually, at a Toastmasters meeting,
Oh.
I learned about Wooden. I'll just talk about him as a coach. I go to this meeting, it's in a hospital in Staten Island, and the district governor then held these long meetings. First of all, from New York, you have to take a ferry, and it's usually freezing. Somebody has to pick you up to get to this hospital. The meeting is over, and I'm walking around talking to people, and this gentleman was there, and he had some books in his hand, and one of them dropped. So I tried to help him pick up his book. And I asked, what are these books? And he said, well, what I do is, I go to libraries and I buy the books that they are now no longer circulating. And then I give them to other people. Isn't that a wonderful thing to do? And I said, okay, I'd like to have one of these. He said, or maybe he asked, I can't remember, and he suggested this W.H. Wooden book. Never heard of the man before. Brilliant, one of the best gifts I ever had. It was a new book, of course, but he had 2 rules. Always be on time. I tried to remember that. It doesn't matter what. Always be on time. This will just significantly improve perceptions of other people about your leadership capabilities. And the second, he would never allow bad language in the team. Imagine from then to now. And if somebody used a bad word, they would be warned and they'd have to explain themselves and sit out. He just would not tolerate it. But a great coach, look him up. I can't remember all the things he said, but wonderful. Coaches are leaders and they're the best.
That concludes our sports table topics section.
Our talk about the kicker, And just for those football fans, I just can't believe you're not a football fan. For those of us that were football fans, they're talking about doing away with the extra point, which I think is so sad.
Aww.
Yes.
Terrible.
They haven't done a change like that in years. I forget what the last change was, but it was done a long time ago. So
They still do the safety, don't they?
That's it.
Yeah.
the next topic was a metaphor for life, and that was Lori. Crip Walker. Another metaphor would be when the players get tackled and they're down. If the ball doesn't actually touch the ground or their knee doesn't touch the ground, they can get back and keep going. Same metaphor for life. When life tackles you, get up and keep running. Football or commercials, I believe, was Jasmine. And I'm very disappointed because I love the football especially, but I love the commercials. Not disappointed in you. There will be no E-Trade Baby commercials this year. Can you believe that? It's like, yay. And then the last person that spoke was BB on good coach quality. And I believe a coach, now I'm a diehard Cowboy fan, but I think that our owner and our general manager needs to go.
Yes.
Because he doesn't know how to lead and let the leaders lead. But the best coach in history was a Dallas Cowboy coach, and that was Tom Landry.
Tom Landry.
Rest in peace, Mr. Tom Landry. I was going to marry him. He passed away before I turned 18. So.
Always fun to have Hudson Griffin up here, because he's always got a good topic, exciting presentation, and a smile on his face. So, first off, he had us drooling with his slideshow about all that good home cooking, southern food. Oh, actually, first he had us laughing, being from the South Dakota. And then he went into some deep personal revelations and sharing, and that showing yourself at your heaviest, and then your very gaunt look. That took some guts to reveal to all of us. That though, we learned, don't take Tamiflu, and watch what you eat. And I'm glad you found a solution, and I'm ready to get a Fitbit and get on that bandwagon. It sounds very nice. And bringing your favorite cereal made me have a little craving there too. So I enjoyed your presentation and your visuals, and fantastic job as usual. Thank you.
You spoke from the heart. Part of this project was, as you're informing all of us, how did we feel you felt about this topic? Diversity is a topic that can make people mad. Diversity is a topic that can bring people closer together. So you picked a topic in this resources for informing, but let us know this is close to your heart. I appreciated the last chart in which you listed the resources. Since the project did call for listing your resources, it would have been grand to hear during the speech some of the resources, perhaps with some statistics, perhaps with some facts. Give us a fact and say, I pulled this from, and list the resource.
Get prizes next time I see you. So thank you for participating. It was a great meeting. We're going to our second half, which is improv. There's still lots of cereal. I'm not taking any home, so don't have me waste my money to go eat the cereal.
Did you have a good time?
Oh, yeah.
I want to thank you all for coming out and being here on time. Yes. Thank you. And for ending the meeting on time. Did everybody get a chance to see our video?
Yes.
Did you see
The
it?
zombies.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw it
Is it
yesterday.
Good.
Very cool.
Anybody not get a chance to see it?
I didn't see it.
You didn't see it? Would you like to see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But let's recess and then.
We will have a quick recess. And let's meet back in classroom 2.